Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So good morning, everyone. This is a different time slot, but I do have some big interviews coming up, so that is why I've changed my time. But in this morning stream, I want to show you guys what's really happening with Bitcoin. Yesterday, I had an epic rant and told you guys to chill the F out. And there's just too much panic, too much talk about, oh, did the top come? When do we know top? Are we going to go lower? I mean, it seems like every month, it seems like every week, we're having the same conversation. But today, I have some data to show you. I'm going to show you what's really happening behind the scenes with Bitcoin so that hopefully it helps ease your mind a little bit. But with that said, Bitcoin is holding strong. I don't know why anyone's panicking at this point. Also, altcoins are holding strong, particularly one altcoin that continues to go higher and higher and higher, and now it is in the top 10 and flipped the chain link. So let's have a good one. Let's do this. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. 2 streams every day, usually 11 a.m., 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter and Facebook. All right, let's do this. Let me change my screen. Here we go. All right, so Bitcoin is right around 55,000, right? If you look at 24 hours, in fact, it's actually up about 870 points. So, Andrew, appreciate that. Yes, I do agree. My Patreon group is really, really fantastic, especially the group collaboration that's going on. It's really priceless. But yeah, if you look at Bitcoin, it's actually up if you look at 24-hour performance. So it's actually technically not down. But yesterday, last night, it went down a little bit, to about 53,000. And then it came back up. But right now, we're hovering at 55,000. So there is absolutely zero reason to be panicking at this point. Unless you have a very leveraged long that's about to get liquidated, because that is what these drops are doing, liquidating the very, very, very greedy longs. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So I pulled this up. This is BTC long liquidations. Look at the red. The reds are longs being liquidated. The greens are shorts being liquidated. Do you notice a pattern? Yeah, the longs are being liquidated left and right a lot more so than the shorts. Right? There's just too many people that are too greedy that keep thinking, okay, this is the time to put in a 50, 100, 125x long. And, when you have a long like that with so much leverage, you're going to get wrecked. And that's exactly what's been happening. So yesterday, or 2 days ago, you had about 500 million BTC longs liquidated. Yesterday, $632 million worth of longs liquidated. Today, another 204 million, and today is not even over yet. It just started. So just don't do it. Just don't do it. If you're looking to lose money really fast, then yes, go do a heavy long leverage trade. But if you're looking to make life-changing wealth by simply dollar cost averaging and holding, then you know what? You don't have to worry about this. You sleep a lot better. You don't have to stay on your phone checking it every 5 minutes. Okay, and it's the same thing. Look at Ethereum. It's uglier. It's way uglier. Look at yesterday. Look at this big drop. About 200 million of Ethereum longs liquidated. It almost seems like there's more greedy Ethereum leverage than with Bitcoin at this point, right? So Don't let the whales that's causing manipulation to drive you out of the market. This is exactly what the whales are doing. They're really preying on the leverage longs right now, because everyone knows we're in a bull market. Yes, things are going to come up. We're about to make the next leg up, right? But don't be this kind of greedy. If you want to be greedy, go invest in altcoins. Altcoins go up 50x. 100x during bull cycles, and we have seen many that have gone 10x within the last few months alone. So if you want to be greedy, you want to actually invest, truly invest, look at altcoins rather than these leverages. Christian, I hate Hex, so don't even ask about it. All right, but this is not what I really want to show you guys. What's really going on behind the scenes is this. Let me pick up, where's the crypto quant that I have? This one. All right, so I'm gonna move my camera out. So this is crypto quant, Coinbase Pro outflow. Okay, so this is outflow from Coinbase Pro. And look at this giant candlestick right here. This is about 15,000 Bitcoins outflowing, not going in, outflowing from Coinbase. And you see all these little ones, right? They look very tame versus the 15,000 that just outflowed. Look at this one. There's about 4,000. Here's another one, 2,600. Here's one, 1,800. Another 2,200. And here, 2,200. Or yes, and then this one, almost 15,000. You know what 15,000 Bitcoins translates to? We're talking about $750 million. We're talking about over $700 million. And you know what these outflow imply? They imply there's some heavy buying behind the scenes. There are some big whales that are buying all this, buying all these Bitcoins, and they're laughing. They're laughing at the retail investors like you guys that are panicking because what they're doing is accumulating. And when they accumulate, they don't want to have prices go up. No, they're not like Michael Saylor's where they're very public about their buys. They want to buy when things are low. Who knows? Some of these whales may be doing just that. I mean, just causing the volatility so that people panic sell, so they buy. So just look at the data. Coinbase outflow, most likely reason is there's a big buy and an outflow from Coinbase going into a custody service or some cold wallet, cold storage, something like that. That's the reason why you have these outflows. And what the whales are doing is they're buying and they're laughing and buying and laughing and buying because they seem to have a really good time liquidating all these retailers. I mean, this is just a joke to them. And they're allowed to do this because the crypto market is really unregulated at this point. But this is the type of stuff they were doing on Wall Street for decades before the SEC came in and said, no, you can't. But they're doing the same thing. So don't fall for these whalish games, right? And people have asked me, even in Patreon, asked me, hey, how do you know if this is top or bottom? This is the easiest way to know. You look at this list of all the big institutions, you know, of course, MicroStrategy, and then the public trade companies and all the hedge funds, mining companies, everyone that's buying, right? Do you see this stopping? If you don't see this list stopping and you don't see any of these companies selling off, why would you think a top is near? It's not near. It's nowhere close near. You look at fundamentals from a perspective of, let's say, the halving event, right? This is the last year of the halving event. But you also look at the macro factors of what's going on with the printing, with the stimulus, and with all these companies that are buying Bitcoin. There's just no way we're close to a top. And here's the scary thing too that I don't think people realize. If you add up all the Bitcoins just on this list alone, it adds up to about 6.5%. 6.5%. I know my camera's hiding it again. But if you look at this total, about 1.4 billion, 6.5%, but that's calculating based on 21 million. And we know there's only about 19 point something million is out. So that's not even 18.6 million. So that's not even taking account of what exists now. That's taking account forever. So that's already at 6.5 million. And that's not taking into account how many has been lost, like 4, 5, 6, 7 million. If you take that into account, just these guys within a very short amount of time has already accumulated probably over 10% of all Bitcoin out there. And they are continuing that buying. So they want to hoard as much as possible, right? This is a different time. This cycle is different. It is very, very different. Previous years, you didn't have a mad rush to buy Bitcoin. You just didn't. It didn't exist. But now you do, which is why I think the super cycle theory is more and more plausible, because these guys just keep buying and buying and buying. They may be causing some manipulations, or whales are causing some manipulation, but they don't care. They just keep buying and buying and buying and buying more because it's scarce, and they know this is going to be the ultimate store of value going forward. So hopefully this kind of calms you guys down a little bit, right? At this point, there should be zero panic over whether or not the bull run is going to continue, whether or not this is top or bottom. And I want to bring up this article too. This was from 3 weeks ago, all right? So this was talking about traditionally how March timeframe is like a weaker time frame, a weaker month for Bitcoin overall. That previous years, if you look at March, it's pretty bad, especially in 2020 when we had that really black swan event when the whole market sold off, everything sold off, right? But if you look at that, look at this headline. This is from February 27, right? So about a month ago. Is Bitcoin at the risk of another drop below 40,000? So they're talking about Bitcoin falling below 40,000 into the 30,000 range, okay? So this is what was predicted. And if you go down and you look at this, March is often a corrective month. And specifically, corrections of 15 to 60% happened in 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19 with an exception, and 20. And guess what? We're in 2021. Where is Bitcoin? Are we in the 30,000s? No, we're at 55,000. So where is the panic? So this whole thing about relying on history, well, obviously it didn't pan out this year, right? And why is that? Well, it could be because of Michael Saylor and all the institutions that's buying Bitcoin left and right behind the scenes. That could play a part into it. Could also play into part all the stimulus money that's going out to people, right? That could play a big part into it. So that's why zero time for panic right now. This is really time to be greedy, but not greedy, so greedy that you go leverage longs, because then you'll just get liquidated. All right. A few other things, just cover news real quick. I saw this, Turkish lira plunges because their central bank, their head of central bank, and this is the third one in recent times, was worried about inflation, so decided to raise interest rates. And as soon as he did that, the Turkish president just said no and fired him. So after that, their dollar is plunging against the USD. And Bitcoin, like Bitcoin sales, local Bitcoin sales, have risen up to $100,000 because people know that currency, the lira, is devaluing right in front of their eyes massively, right? So when there's turmoil, and it's not a good thing, but people are recognizing, right? If you live in a country where it's not relatively easy to get your money out or to put it into something else, what can you do, right? You put into Bitcoin. That's what you do. It's the easiest way to do it, and it's the ultimate store of value right now. Even putting it into gold. And I'm not trying to back on gold, but if you put into gold, it's not really a good inflation hedge right now. Bitcoin is, right? So now you're starting to see a whole lot of countries that have real economic issues going on. And you know what? This notion of Bitcoin becoming a world currency, you know how all these countries hoard gold? Pretty soon, they'll all be hoarding Bitcoin. And that's going to cause even a bigger scarcity issue for Bitcoin. All right. Time Magazine is looking for CFO. And somehow they list that this new CFO has to be comfortable with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. What does that imply? What does that imply? Are they going to start buying Bitcoin with their reserve dollars? I don't know. They're going to be talking a lot more. I mean, I don't even get it. This is a CFO. This is someone that's managing their money, right? So why would they need to be comfortable with Bitcoin other than the fact that they're probably looking into buying Bitcoin? Because if they're just talking about Bitcoin, you don't need a CFO to be involved, but kind of funny. This could come after this interview with Michael Saylor, because Michael Saylor just did an interview with Time Magazine. Maybe he raised some eyebrows, and they're like, maybe we do need to get into this. Of course, another celebrity, legendary skateboarder Tony Hawk, is going to auction a trick footage utilizing NFT technology. So, of course, I don't think this is unexpected. Of course, you're going to have a lot of celebrities now looking to cash in, especially athletes. There's so much footage that they can sell off, right? So obviously the NFT trend is not stopping anytime soon. All right, I think that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to cover. So the reason, like I said at the beginning of the stream, the reason why I'm doing this a little bit early, because I do have an interview with Rick from LTO Network, a project that is very promising, a blockchain regulated, so to speak. So I am going to have an interview with him not too long after this stream. It's not going to be live, but I am going to record it, and I'm going to have an interview with Sonny from StormX in the afternoon. So the plan is to release these interviews next week. Next week, I'm going to have like a whole interview week where every single day I'm going to release an interview from people that you guys know of, from projects that you guys know of. So it'll be pretty interesting, just to let you guys know. All right, looking at CMC, overall, not too bad. Bitcoin dominance still below 60%. Shows you how strong altcoins are. Specifically one that I talked about nonstop, and it just keeps going higher and higher and higher and higher. And that is Theta. And Theta is now at number 10. It flipped Chainlink. It is at $12 billion. I've been telling you guys about Theta. I was not even early. I didn't even get in that early. But, I've been telling you guys about it since, I don't know, 4 billion, 5 billion. Goes to 6 billion, goes to 8 billion. It was at 8 billion not too long ago. And I'm like, it's going to be a top 10. 9 billion, now it's 12 billion. It's going to flip with Litecoin later today. And how high is it going to go? Can I flip with Uniswap? That's a big leap, but maybe. The way they're going, just unstoppable at this point. And not just them. There's a lot of others that's doing well. Today, also, IOTA, another, I guess, promising DAG, went up. And there's a few others that are still doing well. T-Fuel, of course. That's a sister token to Theta. But yeah, overall, Harmony's coming up. Overall today, kind of like a even day with Bitcoin, but there's definitely bargains to be had. That's for sure. All right. Turning to you guys for some quick Q&A. Let's see. Super chats. I'm not familiar with SafeMoon. Can't really talk about SafeMoon, but let me just pull it up real quick. Yeah, nope, not go look at it. If you show me a project that's up like 100% or 200, 300%, I'm just going to assume that you're only saying it because you want to FOMO in, or you're a bag holder and you want me to promote the FOMO even more. So if I do see that, I'm just not going to look at it. Not even tracked. This must be a really, really, really new project. Community token DEX. DEX for community tokens. Okay. Way too new. So most likely you're from the team. Because it's not even done. What was I doing before? I was in IT. I was system architect. I was not a streamer at all. I've been doing this for quite some time, but I appreciate that. I actually have a good business idea, because there's so many people that's looking to create channels or become a social media influencer. I have this idea where I may start a business helping people do that, but also providing all the equipment to do that. I think that would be pretty cool. I don't know. Sailor says there's no scarcity dilemma due to fractions. He misinterpreted. I know that's what BitBoy asked him. He misinterpreted that. BitBoy, and along with everyone else, is going at the fact that Bitcoin is scarce because it's getting very, very, very expensive. Yes, you could divide it out fractionally to 8 16 decimal places, but it is becoming very, very, very expensive. Not too long ago, you could buy Bitcoin, one whole Bitcoin at $3,000. Now it takes you $5,500 just to buy 0.1. Pretty soon, it's going to take you $5,500 to buy 0.01. And then soon after that, it'll be 0.001. So the scarcity, yes, you can divide it up, but the price has a big factor in it. it's a hindrance. It just drives people out because people like whole numbers. People don't like to own fractional pieces of things, right? And the dollar value, as the dollar deflates and as Bitcoin appreciates, I think that's the biggest thing. Rebecca, I have looked at SparkPoint before, not entirely. Haven't done a real deep dive, but they're a financial, kind of ecosystem in Southeast Asia, and they have gaming, they have staking, they have trading, learning, all this stuff. But I think where they're at is going to limit them, in terms of the markets that they're in right now. Yeah, I'm not looking at SafeMoon. Akash Network, #1 DeFi cloud. Well, they're trying to be, but I think there's just a little bit too early. They have to prove themselves, whether or not they can actually handle clients. I have been looking at Dent. I have someone that's really, really, really fond of Dent and keeps asking me about it, but they have gone up parabolically for really no apparent reason. So I'm going to have to do more digging into thinking, is it just a really crazy pump, or is there something to it? Or iChain. No. Anything AI powered, I just turn off right away. And oracles, no. Just go with Chainlink if you're looking at Oracle. Frank, see, when you start a question like that, it just turns me off. Terra is something that I've talked about many, 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 many times in the past. And the way you're expressing it just means that you're a shill. So I'm not going to answer your question. Does it matter? I am George, long-term holder of OMG. Is it worth holding? That's a good question. I actually thought OMG would dominate layer 2 because Tether said that they're moving on to OMG. I don't know if that's actually true because when you send a Tether transaction, a ERC-21, it's still kind of expensive. They were supposed to move to OMG, so maybe they decided not to. But yeah, they were definitely the big powerhouse of layer 2s before. Vitalik was also very close to this project before as advisor, but they kind of died off and they got bought out. Maybe that's the reason why. Maybe they got bought out and then people thought they were too corporate or something. Bluezell, interesting. It's more of a database play, a very efficient. They're not cloud storage. Storage is different. They're pure database. They have a way to make blockchain database a lot more efficient. That's always been their model. Now, I don't know if they expanded that, but they've been out for a while. So not back to their previous highs yet. But anyways, it could be a good one. Just not a very sexy project, right? Harmony, I talked about Harmony a lot. A very promising blockchain, one that has a fantastic team. I'm set to talk to CEO this Friday and do an interview with them, right? So they've been on absolute tear, and they have a lot of good things. They just opened up Binance Smart Chain Bridge. They have Ethereum Bridge, and NFTs that they're getting into. There's a lot of stuff that they're getting into. Labs Group, where are they at? They're just on Uniswap. Yeah, no, real estate, tokenizing real estate is just stupid to me. Cardia Chain, kind of like SparkPoint, their primary focus is Vietnam right now and Southeast Asia. So I think that's going to limit them for a while. Does it matter? Yes. Yes, it is. It's private on purpose because I don't want any pumper or spammer to get in there. So that's why it's private. VRA, I'm not sold on Versity. Too many people started shilling at the same time, and the only thing that they have is somehow they have a patent to see if whether or not views are real or not. That's it. They're a streaming play, but you know, when it comes to streaming plays, no doubt Theta is the big dog. I would much rather hold Theta than Versity at this point. Elias, appreciate that. Anything else? I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna get going. TVK Terra Virtua, a promising NFT play. There's a lot of promising NFT plays, but Theta is categorized as NFT, but they're not really. But they have an NFT marketplace. But Chile's been kind of down recently. Engine been kind of down, right? Decentraland, Ultra, Wax, all these guys, Ecomi, they've been down for a little bit, but you know what? They're promising NFTs. I don't think they're going to go away anytime soon. But there is a shift. I do recognize there's always shifts. You know, first DeFi was very hot, right? Then it switched to NFTs. It's not like DeFi got not hot. They're still holding very well. It went to NFTs. Now it's going back to like smart contract, protocols. And also like market leaders. I find market leaders are doing very, very well. All right, London Chinese cabbie, appreciate that. I think that's it. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Special time slot, right? But tomorrow will be back to normal, and tonight will be back to normal. So make sure you smash the like, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you tune in tonight, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one.